Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and happy spooky season, happy October, the best time of the year. Today we are kicking off my Halloween looks with this creepy devil bloody horned look. So let's go ahead and get started. I am already starting out with my foundation, brows, and a little bit of mascara, and we are just going to jump right into the eye look. So first I'm going in with these really pretty Deck of Scarlet eyeshadows. I will have the names of the eyeshadows that I use down in the description box. So first I'm kind of going in with like this neutral brown shade, and I'm going to start putting this in my crease on both of my eyes, and we are slowly going to start building this up until we get a nice opaque color. Then for the next color that we are going to use, we're going to use this really kind of dark brown, almost like a dominatrix type color. Yes, I'm comparing that to a Jeffree Star liquid lip because that's what it reminds me of. And on a little eyeshadow brush, we are going to start packing this onto the lid, making sure it is nice and opaque, just kind of building that up. And then we're going to go back in with that original blending brush, and we are going to start blending this up into the color that we originally started with. And this is going to kind of give us that really dark, smoky, vampy eye look, because I feel like if you're going to be a devil for Halloween, you need to have like a bomb ass cat eye smoky eye look. So I'm just kind of doing that. Then I'm going to go in with this Covergirl Trunaked Smokey palette, and I'm going to use the black out of this shade, and very lightly I'm just going to start taking little bits of this and then just start working it into the outer parts of my eye with an eyeshadow brush. This eyeshadow brush is very tiny but very fluffy, so it makes it very easy to get it where you want. And I'm also kind of bringing that up into my crease as well. So the look that we're kind of going for is something kind of like this, where you still have the brown on the lid with the black in the crease. I don't know, I thought it looked really cool. And then we're going back in with the first blending brush that we used, and we're kind of blending everything out, because that is going to be the #1 secret to an eye look like this, is blending like a mad woman or man or whatever. Then for the lid, I wanted a pop of shimmer, so I'm using this shimmery foil eyeshadow by Deck of Scarlet. Again, all the names will be down in the description box. And I am applying this just onto the very center parts of my eye, just to kind of give us that like little Halloween spooky glow to this eye look. I just thought it looked really cool. And I feel like all the matte shadows made it kind of flat, so I wanted to make it a little bit more dimensional by doing this to the eyes. Next, I'm going in with a Wet n Wild gel eyeliner, and I'm going to be creating a wing on top of the eyeshadow look as well. Pretty thick, because I didn't want it to be too thin, because this is Halloween, and we also are going to be using some false eyelashes later on. Then moving on to the bottom half of our eye, I'm going in with some, of course, black eyeliner, and I'm just going to put this down on my waterline. And then I'm going in with that eyeshadow brush that we used for the black, and I'm just kind of blending out that eyeliner. Then moving on to lashes, I'm using the Ardell Double Up wispy eyelashes and just applying these to both of my eyes. These are very large and in charge. They're very dramatic, and they gave me like the perfect look that I was going for. I don't usually wear false eyelashes with my Halloween looks, but I figured this could be more of like a beautiful, sexy devil, and I just think big eyelashes are like the perfect way to go for that. So I applied those. Next, we are going to contour a little bit, and I'm going to be using a dead gray face powder from Spirit Halloween, and on my e.l.f. contouring brush, I'm going to take a little bit of this, and we're just going to start hollowing out my cheeks just to give us that like creepy gray sunken in kind of look. I don't know why I do this with almost every single look that I do. I just think it looks really cool. And then also for a last minute thing, I decided to make my eyebrows longer, just to give them that kind of like whimsical, like, you know, Halloween look. So I just took my eyebrow pencil and just kind of extended those down a little bit to kind of match where my eyeshadow ended. Next, we can move on to the fun part of this look, which is applying the horns. And these horns I actually found at Spirit Halloween. And first, I am just deciding where I want them placed on my head. Then we are going to go in with some Prozade this year. I actually decided to purchase that for the first time. So I'm just shaking that up a little bit, and on a little disposable cosmetic wedge sponge, I am putting this on my face where I want the horns to be, letting it get a little bit tacky, and then applying applying the horns to my forehead. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, these horns look a lot easier to apply than they actually are. I wasn't a huge fan of how there wasn't really a base underneath the horns. It was literally just this mesh. And as you can see, I had a lot of issues with them falling off. It literally, these horns took me at least 45 minutes to get down onto my forehead and dry. So literally I had to hold each horn there and go back and forth with the Pros-Aid, creating layers, making sure that layer dried, then going in with another layer, and then eventually I had to like lay it down for like a half hour and wait for it to fully dry. So just a little bit of a heads up, if you are new with this kind of stuff, it will probably take you a few trial and errors because I literally constantly struggle with these things falling off. So just a little bit of a heads up, but once they finally did dry and get stuck onto the skin, they stayed really, really well to the point where it actually was kind of painful to remove them. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Make sure you allow yourself enough time to apply these horns before you go out to your party or trick-or-treating or whatever it is you're going to do, because they do take some time to, you know, dry down and stay down. Next, I'm just going in with some e.l.f. high definition powder. It's just like a translucent powder, and I'm just putting that over top of the horns, making sure that we are covering up all of the stickiness before we go in and apply any of our fun colors and all that good stuff. Then the next thing that we are going to do is I'm going in with one of these little injury stack things that I got from Spirit Halloween, and I'm taking the darkest color from that, and I'm going just around the base of the horns with the black to kind of create a little bit of depth to the horns. And I'm also going in with some foundation as well to cover up some of the mesh that wasn't going to get covered. So I'm sorry this seems a little jumpy, but that's just what I'm doing here in these clips. Then I'm going in with my other Injury Cinema Secret stack, and I'm taking a mixture of the green and the yellow to kind of create the look of a little bit of irritation and infection and all that really gross stuff around the horns. And then I'm going back and forth with the other stack and putting more black and kind of mixing it in and blending it all together. Then, like I said, we're going back in with that kind of deep red and the red colors and putting those around where we applied the black. This is just going to create a little bit of the start of the bloody look and the depth look. If you guys really wanted to take this like super serious and like wear this look for hours on end, you could maybe build up some liquid latex around the horns to make it look like, you know, it's coming through the skin more, or you could paint the horns or whatever it is that you want to do. I'm just showing you pretty much the basic way of how to achieve this look. So yeah, that's just, you guys can kind of take this and run with it and do whatever you like. But I'm also taking that red that we applied and kind of dragging it out away from the horns to make it look like it's kind of bruised and, you know, irritated from popping through my skull, so to speak. Before we move on to the Blood, Guts, and Gore, I'm going in with the Covergirl Exhibitionist lip liner in the shade Red, and I'm just outlining my lips there because I feel like every devil has to have a really nice classic red lip. And then over top of that, after we line the lips, I'm going in with the Covergirl Exhibitionist lipstick, and this is in the shade Seduce Scarlet. There it is, number 310, and I'm just applying that all over my lips. Then, of course, you could leave the horns like this, or you could go in with some Bloody Scab, which is the best Halloween product out there. And on just a little brush that I don't care too much about, I'm basically picking up little pieces of the Bloody Scab and kind of dragging that all around the horns, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. Bloody Scab is one of those products where it can literally take a basic Halloween look and make it look 10 times more real. Like just how chunky and thick the blood is and how dark it is, it looks really, really cool. And then over top of that, just to give it more of like a glossy, fresh bleeding look, I'm going in with this red blood gel that I got from Spirit Halloween. And this is just going to give it a little more of like a shine to it and a little bit more of that like freshly popped through horns look that just came out of my head, and I'm still bleeding a little bit. And then after you're done making all of the little adjustments that you want to this, whether you want to paint your face or paint the horns or whatever it is you want to do, this is how the look turned out, and I am honestly pretty happy with it. We had a lot of issues with the horns in the beginning, but let me tell you, once they came together, it looks so cool. So I really hope that you guys did enjoy this look. If you did, make sure you give me a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to check out my Halloween playlist down in the description box to see more looks. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new. But until then, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. I love you guys and happy spooky season. Bye!